So for the Gandalf here, I think in terms of the normal attack, it's very interesting where it attacks the enemy and creates a shield equal to 10% of his max HP to the ally with the worst HP condition for 2 turns. So every time a Gandalf moves, when he normal attacks, he's gonna place a shield on the lowest ally HP. Second skill, attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit decreases their attack speed for 2 turns and increases their chance of landing glancing hits. So attack speed debuff and glancing. Although this one maybe max skill is around 70 to 80% chance, right? And then you cannot pass this one. Removes all harmful effects on all allies and attacks all enemies 3 times to deal damage proportionate to your max HP. Each hit removes all beneficial effects with a 40% chance. So it's like a cleanse and a strip with good damage as well. I think because it's based on the max HP that he's gonna be doing, right? So it could be decent. And then we can move onwards here to the water support unit. The water Gandalf. So all normal attacks are the same. Guardian's Barrier creates a shield equivalent to 20% of his max HP on all allies for 2 turns. And grants them reflect damage. Oh, okay. And in terms of the passive, right? It increases his attack bar by 20% whenever an ally with a shield is attacked. Ooh, he's gonna get a lot of turns, I think, this guy. And in addition to that, it removes 1 harmful effect on allies with a shield whenever you gain a turn and recovers their HP by 10%. So it's gonna be a really decent support. I think definitely all these units could be used in RTA, as well as Siege and Guild War offense kind of thing. You can see the Maya's Authority. Yeah, I really like the attack bar gain that whenever an attack is made onto a shield unit. And also able to heal. So yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent support right there. And in terms of the Wind Gandalf, this one, for the second skill is also the same, putting the reflect damage and the shield for 2 turns. And for this one, the passive, all allies with a shield gain immunity against attack bar decreasing effect. So when you use the second skill, right, the opponent cannot push back you. In addition to that, removes 1 harmful effect on the ally target whenever you create a shield on an ally. Although nowadays it's not really used, like, people don't really bring in Chiompong or attack bar reduction units. Although this guy could counter a Venhan, I guess, because Venhan does a little bit of pushback here and there. So yeah, I think this passive is good. Could be nice, alright. Not too sure what's the scaling of it, so we do need to try to summon it later and hope for the best, alright? What I really want is the Dark Aragon. I think Dark Aragon is good. And also the... what's the face? Light Gandalf. I think Light Gandalf passive... I mean, the third skill is very interesting. So first and second is also the same, where he gets the shield and the reflect damage for all allies. Immortal Light removes all harmful effect on all allies. So cleanse and increase attack bar by 30%. In addition to that, when you take fatal damage... Let me just... yeah. Can't really see the end there, wait. Okay, yeah, I think this is better. So when you take fatal damage, it offsets that damage once during battle and activates Enhance Immortal Light. And it is maintained until the battle ends. So what is Enhance Immortal Light? It removes all harmful effects on all allies, increases their attack bar by 30%, and revives all allies with 30% HP. The cooldown increases by 2 turns per revived ally. So when you offset a fatal damage, then the Immortal Light will do better stuff, right? Okay, interesting. Could be a very good support. But yet again, this is only for the 0.01% of the community. I don't think everybody is gonna get a Light Gandalf, right? It's gonna be really hard to get all this kind of LD collabs. And in terms of the Dark Gandalf, this one is the only attacker, I believe. The rest are more like supports, where there's the fire one for the strip, cleanse, The water, wind, and light is all supportive units. And this one, second skill is the one where the attack speed and glancing debuff. Final lightning. It attacks all enemies when an attack that ignores effect that resists death and stuns them for 1 turn. When attacking on your turn while final lightning is on cooldown, it ignores effect that resists death and stuns the enemy with a 50% chance. I'm not really a fan of this Dark Gandalf though. It's just like a damage dealer-ish without any... what's that face? What do you call it? It's not like it can revive, like stuff like that, right? No passive to like support him. So it's just like a generic damage dealer which ignores resist death effect kind of thing. I guess you could use it in some sort of speed comms with Adriana, things like that. But we'll see, alright? Yet again, this one, like I said, not everybody will be getting it. Okay, moving onwards to the Aragon. Aragon, I think the dark one is very nice. I hope I can pull the dark one later, okay? Okay, wait. Let me bring up the chat as well. Alright, so win Gandalf with Angela is going to be painful. Yeah, man. I think there's going to be tons of shields and Angela passive is going to be working overtime. So that is actually good. More units which has shield. I like it a lot. So Aragon Fire, the HP one. Normal attack for all Aragons would be putting a branding effect for 2 turns. Damage increases according to his max HP. Fair enough. Standard kind of normal attack. Would be nicer if he can land armor break instead of branding though, but we'll just take it. Branding at the end of the day is slightly lesser effect. Removes all harmful effect on an ally and defends the target for 3 turns. Receives half of the damage inflicted on the defended target while making the damage 0 for the defended target and counterattacks the enemy target. So, Fire Aragon is something like a Rakan, right? So you place the defense like a hug kind of thing. However, it's gonna be slightly better, I feel, because you can actually cleanse the ally and then you defend it. And then that unit won't be taking damage for 3 turns. Kind of thing, you know, the hug system. And Strider's counter-attack, this one, when you counter-attack, meaning that when you hug the defended unit, if people attack that one, then you are gonna counter-attack with this passive where it deals 100% increased damage and recovers the HP of all allies by 15%. This is gonna be a very good siege or guild battle offense, okay? Where you can play with the elements a little bit. So this is actually really good. And I think it's like a enhanced Rakan, in my own opinion, okay? Moving onwards to the Water Aragon. Like I said, all Aragons normal attack are the same. Band of Blades increases the attack power of the ally with the highest attack power for 1 turn. I don't like 1 turn. And teams up with the ally to attack the enemy. So you can do a little bit of team up and get more damage with the buff. While attacking, your attack deals damage 2 times, decreasing its defense for 2 turns with a 50% chance each. So this is also a very good support-ish kind of thing for the second skill. And for the Blessing of the White Tree, this is the skill tree. Decreases the cooldown of all allies by 1 turn each. Grants immunity for 2 turns and creates a shield equivalent to 15% of his max HP for 2 turns as well. So this is something like not the Pudding Princess, the other one. Macaron Guard-ish. Yeah. Slightly better also. You can reduce your cooldown and then you get immunity and shield. So fair enough, it's just like a supportive HP base unit for the Water Aragon, alright? Win Aragon now. Second skill is the one where he teams up. And for the King Strike, it goes under the threat state while enemies attack with a single target skill 2 times. And then attacks all enemies to deal damage proportionate to his max HP and stun them for 1 turn. Nah, This one is a nat 4, so you can see the skill is like a little bit trash compared to the rest, right? So I am assuming we are gonna get a lot of all the wind Aragon due to the fact that it's the nat 4 variant, okay? Everybody will be 90% when we see lightning for the special effect lightning Lord of the Rings one. This guy is gonna appear. And we can move onwards to the light Aragon. Light Aragon is actually pretty decent, although it's just a nat 4, okay? So you can see here, the second skill, it removes all harmful effects. So basically the hug. And then for the passive, it increases his attack bar by 10% when an ally is attacked. Increases his attack bar by 50% when an ally falls under an inability effect. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. When they stun your ally, you gain 50% attack bar. That is huge, you know. And whenever they attack other units, he gains 10%, which is fair, and then he can hug. Although he probably needs to be paired with some sort of Angela or Rakuni, those kind of healers. Could be good. And moving along here is the Dark Aragon. So like I said, Dark Aragon is really nice. I like his third skill, okay? So it attacks one enemy to reset the attack bar. Afterwards, attacks all enemies 3 times to increase their cooldown by 1 turn. And decreases their attack speed for 2 turns on each hit. Damage proportionate to max HP. So this is like a crazy Carnal, alright? I think that's the best way to put it, because your damage is also based on max HP. Carnal also the same for skill tree. Carnal also places slow debuff. This guy does that as well, but that's resets as well. Okay, you can reset the opponent's skills, and you can push back 1 unit to 0, I think, when you say it resets its attack bar, right? So this is like a crazy Carnal in that sense. And he has that team up skill on the second one. I think, you know, especially like a Nyx Gianna user for me, right? We have strippers to move in front of this guy, and he's gonna be doing like the big ass burst damage. So hopefully we can pull him. Although I only got like close to 40 LDs only. It is what it is. We have to pray later on, right? And for the Legolas variant, so Legolas is more like the archers. I really like it a lot. It's something similar to like Ethereal Restart Yali, okay? Where there's a lot of random chance for extra attack on the normal attack. As you can see here, attacks enemy twice. Attacks the target once more with a 50% chance up to 3 times. It's very similar to Yali from Ethereal Restart. However, the other skills here, for the second one, Fire, increases your attack power and attack speed for 2 turns, gain a turn instantly. Oh. Holy shit, man. Oh, wow. So self-buff and then gain turn. And the passive, it absorbs the enemy's attack bar by 15% with a 40% chance. And he can still beneficial. This is basically Yali, bro. Yali also does the same shit. Yeah, you can steal beneficial effect, get like 5 hits in, all this kind of shit. Holy, alright. And it also increases your harmful effect activation rate by 20% per beneficial effect granted on yourself. Oh my god, this fire guy is good. I think he has a very good potential, alright? Hopefully we can pull him. I'll read the chat later on, alright? So for the water variant, this is the Nat 4. Nat 4 normal attack is the same chance to attack more, 50% chance up to 3 times. For the second skill, attacks enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases its attack bar by 35% with an 80% chance. So push back on the second skill and basically big burst damage on the turn. Right? Because you hit 4 times, increases your attack bar in proportion to the damage dealt. Okay, fair enough. Probably the water one could be used as well. Especially when there's like 10,000 agrias on defense right now for a siege. This guy could be fun. Yeah, I'll definitely try and build it. And for the wind one, alright, so wind... normal attack the same. This one self buff with a second skill. And whenever he has a faster attack speed, he does more damage. Attacks all enemies, so AoE, damage, potential stuns. Push back if the enemy is slower than you. Okay. Alright. So stun and push back and do good damage with the rain of arrows. Generic damage dealer with a very good AoE skill. Alright. For the light Legolas. This one, the second skill is the pushback. Whenever an ally, including yourself, attacks the enemy with a critical hit, increases your attack bar by 10% and your attack power by 5%, as well as defense up to 100. So this is basically, I think, you know, every collab there's gonna be one of those OP passive unit, like Light Siri, okay, Light Siri, Light Huarang, and this is gonna be that kind of variant. Whether it's gonna be good, I think he's gonna be decent, okay? We did see Light Huarang up until now is so crazy, but obviously Huarang is gonna be the best variant for these kind of passive because he has that self-glance. All this don't have it, alright? So self-glancing is too strong. You cannot land any debuff and he's going to do so much damage every single time. So this is gonna be like one of those Light Siri, Huarang kind of thing, alright? Let me drink a little bit of water first. For some reason, I don't know, I don't feel good today. When I woke up, I have a like very bad headache. That's why I didn't make... After I make a video, then I took a rest. So I took Panadol after I ate my dinner earlier. But it's the update today, so we got no choice, alright? We gotta pull through. Maybe I get headache because I'm gonna get Dark Aragon later. Or Gandalf is gonna use some... Like Gandalf gonna kill me later, you know? So for the Dark Legolas here, this one is a self buff. And it enters the Whispers of Mirkwood state until your next turn. What the hell is this? So this state is whenever an enemy turn ends while in this state, it attacks the enemy with a 50% chance to leave a branding effect. And decreases your attack bar by 30%. You cannot counter attack or team up while in the Whispers of Mirkwood state. Huh. Okay. So whenever an enemy moves, then he's gonna do damage on that unit. Right? Oh, this is very interesting. And then he pushes back his own attack bar by 30%. So there's gonna be a lot of chance for him to like do counter attack. I mean like do damage onto the opponent kind of thing. Whether he can sustain as long as possible, I don't know. Because it's an attack unit. So it could be squishy. But yeah, self-buff could be nice. But it doesn't really make sense. Like, you give yourself attack speed here and then... It's not gonna be like sync with your third skill. I don't know about this. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the Dark Legolas. We need to test it first, you know? And last but not least, it's the Gollum. So Golems here, I think all of them are 4 stars. Normal attack, potential stun, and it has 2 passives for the fire. If the target is stunned after attacking the enemy on your turn, it attacks the target again to absorb its attack bar by 50% with an 80% chance. Okay. And if he has 100% HP, he gains immunity for 2 turns. Otherwise, recovers his HP by 20%. Oh, wow. I think this guy could be used. Could be toxic in defense, alright? Could be toxic. I like all these passives. For the Water Golem. So, grant stealth. Okay. Honestly, right? They should have made like stealth... The stealth buff during the Assassin's Creed collaboration. I think that would have been like really good. This is the new mechanic that is gonna be in the game, guys. So while in the stealth state, the opponent cannot target that unit. Maybe when you're using AoE attack, then only you can randomly hit him. But while this guy is under the stealth state, you cannot attack. You cannot click on him, alright? So that is actually pretty good for things like PvP, definitely. And you gain yourself stealth for 2 turns, fills up his attack bar. Stealth cannot be applied to all allies, alright? So it's only himself. And it increases the attack bar of an ally target by 50% for the 3rd skill. Also grants Vampire and increased attack speed for 2 turns. Vampire. I never liked Vampire. The lifesteal is just a little bit too little, you know? So yeah, we'll see whether this guy is gonna be okay. For the Wind Gollum. So Wind Gollum also the stealth. And for My Precious. Attacks the enemy to steal all its beneficial effects. If the stealing is successful, resets the cooldown of cover. Okay, very interesting. I like this. I think the wind one is gonna be used more than the water one. And on to the light and dark variant. So both of them will be 4 stars. 2 passives on the light, where if the target is stunned, attacks again to absorb 50% attack bar, which is the same as the fire one. But the passive, the second passive is different. So if the target is not stunned after attacking the enemy on your turn, it attacks the target again to remove 1 beneficial effect. And then there's another chance to stun, because it's the normal attack, right? So yeah, I think there's double chance for this guy to potentially strip stun something single target-ish, bruiser, like Gollum. And for the dark attack, this one gets the stealth, and for the 3rd skill, recovers your HP by 30% and increases your attack power for 2 turns, gains a turn instantly. Alright, so basically like a lot of buffs coming out from the dark attack Gollum, alright? So once again, I want to talk a little bit about Frodo. I feel like this is the best free collab unit that they have potentially given us, right? I really like the passive where it removes all harmful effects on himself at the start of turn. If no harmful effects were removed, attack buff for the whole team. And there's also the pushback and glancing with the 2nd skill. I can think this guy is gonna be used in my RTA. I feel like I can potentially bring him in, because I do need some sort of attack buff sometimes where I'm lacking damage. I think this guy is gonna be okay. Yeah, so can't wait to try out all these new units, and hopefully we can pull them later on in the stream, alright?